So me and my friend yesterday tulikuwa na a very interesting topic. It's a topic that is so interesting. But so what really happened was the fact that I'll watch, I guess it's the movie about the Muli Children's Home. So I'll watch your film, then he called me. And so alikuwa very much intrigued about how that came about, if it's a true story. And I don't know if you guys have watched your movie. I personally watched it the first time ilitoka. I went to see it at the theater. Nilienda kuiwatch, but alikuwa very much interested in knowing if what he saw is very true. So, and me being from Kenya, I ended up sharing that, I shared what I know that is true, na vitu zenye mimi mwenyewe nimejionea. And that movie is very it's a true story. And that guy ends up opening up an orphanage, that which person I don't know where that orphanage is, but nimesikia kuihusu. But he wanted to know that from a perspective juu most Americans hapa, that idea of orphanages in having the kind of, I guess, the level of poverty, at the level of needs zenye ziko in other countries, it's hard for people to understand. It's so hard for people to understand hapa, how to navigate, even how to feel about that. So we were discussing that, and then I don't know how we got into this topic about Jew. He's a church guy. So tukaingia into this topic here, when especially here kuna something that people tell you that I'm praying for you. So, and that is a common saying that I've heard all along. So unaweza jipata unapitia stuff, and then somebody tells you you're praying for you, and when you know very well that the person mwenye anakwambia they're praying for you, they can do something about it. So we drifted through the conversation to that, and so akaniuliza my perspective juu my perspective is coming from somebody who is seeing this culture from different eyes. And it's so hard for an average American to understand kulala njaa inamaanisha nini. It's such a foreign thought. It's such a foreign thought for them to understand how how other countries, what they are going through. And I'm not saying huku hakuna watu they are going through that kind of a thing, but it's such a foreign thought to most Americans. So let's say if you are going through something, most people wenye watakusaidia most of them ni wenye wamepitia the same situation, the exact same situation, so they have empathy based from that. But most people, it's hard for them to know what that really means. Awezi kuja wambie mzungu, kuna kids I know they're going hungry here and there. It's hard for them to, wow, they grow up in abundance, and it's so hard for them to realize. And so the issue that we were talking about ni story ya nilikuwa namwambia back then, years ago, time nilikuwa na survive, some of the things yenye wase walikuwa naniambia ni I'm praying for you, and I used to get offended by that. Nilikuwa namwambia I used to get offended because the people that are telling you will pray for you, they can actually do something about it. But they take the easier route of we are praying for you. Na nikamwambianga, like, I don't really believe and this is very how do I say it? Most people, like, I don't believe the fact that this is where you have to use your knowledge. If kauna interact na msee nakwambia, oh, I'm praying for you about that issue, and you know that they can take action on that issue, is that I came to find out it's a very how do you call it? It's a term that people use not to take accountability, and this is just for the talking sake. So I'm not saying, like, I'm not sharing out of anything. It's just something interesting that we had. So there's another term that people use. For instance, there's something else that when people ask you, especially in this culture, how are you doing? And you are supposed to share in a very positive way. Juu the minute umeanza kushare mashida yako, boom, hii stuff imeisha. Like, nobody wants to hear that. And I'm not saying that most, like, hakuna they want to listen. There are people that want to listen, but most people, especially ukienda into a church, useme wakuulize how are you doing, uanze kusema anything negativity, like, you cannot be real, you can be fake. But so alikuwa ananiuliza these questions based from the fact that hakuimagine, like, the guy would sell everything and start up this organization, and basically alikuwa na challenge the American culture where there's so much abundance, like there's kuna so many things, but in the moment of need, if there's a need that arises, the first thing they say, tunakuombea, and then the story goes dead. And mi nilimwambia this thing nimeiona especially in Christian churches. Like, I mean, you can be going through shit and then usikie mtu amekwambia we'll pray for you, and due to different reasons, some of them may be avoiding your accountability, the fact that, hey, let's do this. And then I brought up another aspect, that it's not that people, like, they don't have the means. They do. Hapa, like, people spend money on so many things, like, coffees, going out to eat, there's so many. So me need to go to a back and forth to where, like, I was like, it's most people cannot really relate to what, like, somebody else is going from a different culture. Like, it's such a foreign concept. Like, awezi hata mwambia, like, unless kuna mse amepitia the same situation from here. Most people when you grow up hapa, like, most of them will know, like, empathy, compassion is not their number one thing. But it was very interesting, Jew. It's the same thing with the church. Imefika hapo even into the church, where that they can, juu hata yeye mwenyewe, he was saying that amejionea that in the church, that most of the, other than taking action on something, it's we are praying for you. When wanajua they can take action, but he could not understand how Ujamaa from Kenya, he left everything, sold everything to go and start up this organization that blew up to something bigger. So, and then I shared with him my own perspective. For instance, me personally, if I'm gonna help somebody, I don't bring the word prayer in the picture. I just do it and I forget about it. Like, I don't bring the fact that Like it's almost like if somebody tells me like they're going through a tough time and I can do it, like even before they when they're telling me about it in my mind, like Nico, like okay, I know what's going on, but it's because I know what that feels like, and so it's easier for me to act from compassion and other than being like the person is telling me your situation and then Nwambia, I'm praying for you and then leave it like that. So that's the difference that we were talking about. It's more of like, but it has to come from the heart. And again, you have to know, um you have to use judgment, but but the thing is that you just don't want to do something blindly. But the thing is that most people wenye tulikuwa tunabonga is that they don't even get to that place. It's they don't really know what that really means. So their easiest thing is to be like, hey, we are praying for you, and we forget about that. Other than mse mwenye amepitia the same situation and they can say we are praying for you and then they actually do something about it. And so tulikuwa tunaiangalia more in like a large scale thing juu hata yeye mwenyewe alipitia some stuff and some people are like, yeah, we'll pray for you. And then but yeye mwenyewe alikuwa ananiambia they knew that hao watu wangefanya something, but the easiest thing for them to say is we'll pray for you, and then the thing just ends there. And I think it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing, and it like if you're on the receiving end, like it can change your mind venye you think about especially maybe places that you go for worship, or maybe even friends, or like how you show up for other people. It can change. But I'm a big believer in that, if there is a need and you can do it, just do it and pray later. And that is what I was trying to explain to him. Juu mi mwenyewe I have seen that. It's almost like people here watakwambia bless your heart. Like you explain something, they'll say bless your heart, but in the real sense, the bless your heart is not mostly like be blessed. Like kuna a hidden thing. Even like if you walk, kuna wase watakusmailia, but it's not a genuine smile. It's a smile just like they do just to ease that tension. So yeah, it's crazy.